You were not born to waste your days in hesitation. You were not given life to squander it in comfort, in delay, in excuse. The time has come to stand up and face the truth. Laziness is not a condition, it is a choice. It is the slow poison that kills potential before it is even born. It whispers to you, telling you to rest before you've earned it, to postpone what demands to be done now, to avoid the pain of growth for the shallow comfort of stillness. You may have talent, you may have dreams, but none of these matter if you do not act. Greatness does not wait. History is not written by the ones who said maybe tomorrow. It is written by those who acted even when they were tired, even when they were afraid. You will never know who you truly are unless you push beyond your weakness. And laziness is the first weakness you must defeat. The chains that bind you are not on your hands, they are in your mind. And every time you choose to stay down, every time you surrender to distraction, those chains tighten. You are not helpless, you are powerful, but that power must be claimed. No one will hand you discipline. You must build it, one step, one decision, one refusal to quit. Understand this. Comfort is a lie. It is a trap set to make you forget what you are capable of. The road of purpose is steep and painful, but it leads to freedom. True freedom, not the false kind that comes from doing whatever you want, whenever you want, but the real kind that comes from knowing you are in control of your own life. So kill your laziness, starve it, choke it, silence the voice that says, "I'll do it later," or replace it with action, replace it with commitment, replace it with courage, because the world does not owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. And when you rise above it, when you look back at the man or woman you used to be, you will not feel regret. You will feel pride, because you will know that you fought and you won, not over the world, but over yourself. And that is the greatest victory of all. Laziness is not something we are born with, nor is it a permanent trait that defines who we are. It is a habit, a learned behavior, a response to the discomfort of effort and the fear of failure. At its core, laziness is a choice, conscious or unconscious, to avoid responsibility, to delay progress, and to trade long-term fulfillment for short-term ease. Many people blame their circumstances, their environment, or even their genetics for their lack of motivation, but the truth is far more personal. We often choose laziness because it is easier than facing the hard truth that we are in control of our own lives. When we see laziness as a condition, we give it power. We treat it as something outside our control, like a sickness we have to live with. But when we acknowledge that it is a decision we make every day, whether to get up or sleep in, to work or procrastinate, to grow or stay stagnant, we take back that power. Every moment of inactivity is a moment of decision. Every time you put off your goals, every time you say, "I'll do it later," you are actively choosing to delay your future. It may feel like you're doing nothing, but in reality, you are deciding something very important. You are choosing not to move forward. This truth can be uncomfortable because it holds us accountable. If laziness is a choice, then no excuse is strong enough to justify it. It forces us to face the reality that we are often our own biggest obstacle. It strips away the illusion that someone else is to blame for our lack of progress. And yet, this truth is also empowering. Because if you have the power to choose laziness, you also have the power to choose discipline, to choose movement, to choose effort. Breaking free from laziness begins with recognizing those small moments of decision throughout your day. It's not always about grand gestures or extreme productivity. It's about choosing to act when you don't feel like it. It's about doing what must be done, even when no one is watching. It's about understanding that action builds momentum, and momentum builds character. Every small victory against laziness is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. The battle against laziness is a daily one. It requires honesty, persistence, and above all, responsibility. But once you stop seeing it as something that controls you and start seeing it as something you control, everything changes. The choice is yours in every moment, to stay the same or to rise above your weakness. And with each right choice, you weaken laziness and strengthen the will that will carry you to your purpose. Talent and dreams are only the beginning. They are the spark, not the fire. Too many people rest on the idea that having potential is enough, that simply dreaming big guarantees a meaningful life. But the truth is much harsher and far more real. Without action, your talent is wasted, and your dreams will die unrealized. You can be the most gifted person in the room, but if you don't put in the effort, someone with half your ability and twice your work ethic will pass you by. Life does not reward those who wait, it rewards those who act. Dreams inspire us, yes, but they are not achievements on their own. They are visions, blueprints of what could be. But nothing is built without work. You may dream of success, of changing your life, of making a mark on the world. But if you wake up every day and do nothing to move closer to that dream, then it's nothing more than a fantasy. Action is the bridge between imagination and reality. Without it, your dream is a ghost, something that haunts you instead of drives you. Talent is also deeply misunderstood. People talk about it like it's the ultimate gift, but it is only the beginning of the journey. Natural ability may give you a head start, but it is discipline, consistency, and sacrifice that carry you to the finish line. In fact, many people who are less talented outpace those with more potential because they put in the work every single day. They show up, they try, they fail and keep going. That's the real difference. It is tempting to believe that your time will come without you having to earn it. That one day the world will recognize your value simply because you exist. But the world owes you nothing. You must prove your worth through action. Every step you take toward your goals, no matter how small, is a declaration that you are not just a dreamer. You are a doer. Action breathes life into your aspirations. It transforms who you are and shapes who you will become. Even the smallest effort compounds. One day of work might not change your life, but 100 days will. And if you stay committed, your actions begin to define you. You stop being just someone with potential and start becoming someone with purpose. That is the key difference. Potential is what you could do. Purpose is what you choose to do every day. So, don't fall into the trap of thinking that talent or dreams will carry you forward without effort. You must push, you must sweat, you must persist through the hard days, because only those who act consistently, even when they don't feel like it, will ever see their dreams come to life. Comfort is seductive. It tells you that you've done enough, that it's okay to rest a little longer, that you don't need to push yourself today. It wraps you in a false sense of security, convincing you that staying where you are is better than risking failure, rejection, or struggle. But comfort is a lie. It is not your friend. It is the quiet enemy of progress, the silent killer of potential, and the warm blanket that smothers your ambition while you sleep through the opportunities life offers you. The truth is, growth does not happen inside your comfort zone. It only begins when you step outside of it, when you feel the resistance, the fear, the uncertainty, and choose to act anyway. The moment things get hard is the moment you start changing. Growth requires discomfort because it demands something new from you. New habits, new thoughts, new actions. None of these come easily. They stretch you, they challenge your limits, and yes, they make you uncomfortable. But that discomfort is a sign that you are becoming something more. Staying comfortable often means avoiding the very things that would change your life. You don't chase that opportunity because you're afraid of rejection. You don't go to the gym because it's easier to stay on the couch. You don't wake up early to work on your goals because your bed feels too good. In each of these choices, comfort wins. And every time it wins, you lose something: time, growth, momentum, self-respect. Discomfort, on the other hand, is the path to freedom. When you train yourself to embrace it, you start to see it differently. Pain becomes progress, challenge becomes opportunity, fear becomes fuel. You begin to understand that the discomfort of hard work, discipline, and persistence is far less painful than the regret of wasted years. Regret is the real discomfort, and it lasts a lifetime. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who avoided discomfort. They are the ones who got used to it. They wake up early. They train when no one is watching. They work while others rest. Not because they love the pain, but because they love who they become through it. They choose the hard road on purpose because they know it leads somewhere worthwhile. If you want to live a life of meaning, purpose, and impact, you must reject comfort as your default state. You must seek out the hard things and do them anyway. You must understand that comfort is the enemy of the life you truly want. And the only way to defeat it is to confront it every day, with courage, with grit, and with a relentless commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is not a gift that some people just have and others don't. It is not luck or a natural personality trait or something that falls into place on its own. Discipline is built, brick by brick, decision by decision, moment by moment. It is the result of choices made every day, especially on the days when motivation is gone, when energy is low, and when the temptation to quit is loud. Discipline is forged in difficulty, and only those who choose to build it earn its rewards. No one will hand you discipline. You cannot borrow it, buy it, or wait for someone to give it to you. It doesn't come from a coach, a parent, a teacher, or a boss. It must come from within. You must decide that you will hold yourself to a higher standard even when no one is watching. You must decide that your goals are more important than your excuses, that your purpose outweighs your comfort, that your future self deserves more than your present laziness can offer. Building discipline starts with small acts. Waking up when your alarm goes off instead of snoozing, finishing the workout instead of quitting halfway, saying no to distractions when it's time to focus, following through on your word even when it's hard. Each of these actions may seem small in the moment, but they add up. They become habits, and over time they become who you are. The disciplined version of you is not a dream. It is a result of the actions you take today. Too often, people wait for motivation to strike before they act, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes, changes with your mood, and disappears at the first sign of struggle. Discipline, however, is steady. It doesn't depend on how you feel. It is built on commitment, not emotion. That's why it's powerful, because it keeps you moving forward when everything inside you wants to stop. There is power in doing what you said you would do, especially when it's difficult. That power builds confidence, focus, and momentum. It turns chaos into order and dreams into plans. Discipline gives you control over your time, your energy, and your life. And with that control, you can create anything you choose. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you take one step closer to freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms, the freedom to succeed, to grow, to lead, but no one can walk that path for you. You must earn it through your daily actions, through your refusal to settle for less, and through your relentless pursuit of self, mastery. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the path to becoming who you were meant to be. Conquering laziness is not just about becoming more productive. It's about claiming your freedom. True freedom does not come from doing whatever you want, whenever you want. That kind of freedom is an illusion. It leads to chaos, to wasted days, to a life without structure or direction. Real freedom is earned. It is the ability to direct your own life with purpose, focus, and discipline. And that power only comes when you take control of yourself. When you conquer laziness, you begin to master the habits that shape your future. You start making decisions not based on how you feel in the moment, but on who you want to become. You begin to act in alignment with your goals. Your time becomes intentional. Your days become meaningful. You stop drifting and start moving with direction. You realize that success is not some mysterious force. It is the natural result of consistent effort over time. The process of defeating laziness is also the process of becoming strong in character. You learn patience because growth takes time. You develop resilience because progress is rarely smooth. You build self-respect because you prove to yourself that you are capable of doing hard things. You no longer need external validation because your confidence comes from the battles you've fought and won against your own weakness. Self-mastery is the foundation of all achievement. If you cannot govern yourself, you will always be ruled by your impulses, your distractions, and your fears. But once you learn to overcome the voice that says not today, once you rise above the temptation to quit, to delay, to settle, you unlock a level of strength that cannot be taken away. That strength stays with you. It grows with every act of discipline and every step forward, even the small ones. And yes, the journey is hard. It will test you. You will be tired, frustrated, and tempted to give up. But those are the moments that matter most, because they are the moments that shape you. Anyone can keep going when it's easy, but the ones who break through laziness and keep moving when it's hard, those are the ones who change their lives. So this is the challenge: kill your laziness, silence the excuses. Break the habits that hold you back. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because it will never come. The perfect moment is now. Decide, act, persist. Take full responsibility for who you are and who you want to become. Because the greatest battle you will ever fight is the one within yourself. And the greatest victory you will ever win is mastering the person in the mirror. Do that and nothing can stop you. Your future is waiting. Earn it.